It was during the course of my writings to you, my dear friend, that I discovered my great-grandfather's suitcase, during a recent cleaning out of the attic. I'm sure you remember from my stories that he was an absolute genius. He had a mathematical mind, was an excellent drawer, and he played a variety of musical instruments. He was also very well travelled, taking part in a multitude of expeditions. At home, we have quite a collection of knickknacks from every corner of the world. I've written to you about this, and about how he disappeared one day under the most inexplicable circumstances. He woke up one morning, wrote everyone letters with his well wishes, and left. Since then, none of his friends or family have seen him. There are rumours later that he'd become a monk in some monastery, which is strange, for, as you know, he wasn't a religious man, or at least none of us had known him to be. And so this discovery of mine has cast a bit of a light on the whole incident. Shortly before his disappearance, my great-grandfather was on an expedition in Oceania. It wasn't the first time he'd been there. What the expedition stumbled upon this time, however, made a serious impression on him. Usually when travellers are describing tribes and the cultures of faraway peoples, they write about them as if their subjects are a good few degrees less civilised than they are. This time, however, my great-grandfather realised that they'd stumbled upon something extraordinary, something truly unbelievable. He writes in his journal of a Christian tribe, they called themselves the Humando, that somehow ended up on these islands many centuries ago. Anyway, I'm sending you a copy of several pages of my great-grandfather's journal. You can read them yourself. I'm heading off on an expedition tomorrow to search for the Humando, and I truly do hope that I'm able to find them.
This is the fourth island this week, and we still haven't found a soul. We're hoping that this time we'll find someone. Today, in the late evening, we set anchor on the island after failing to do so yesterday because of choppy seas. We were all astonished by what we found. Brother Paul fell to his knees the moment he saw these people. They approached us and bowed, and then crossed themselves. To sail 1,000 miles and encounter a tribe of local Christians, none of us could have even imagined it. They fed us and offered us a place to spend the night. They're a friendly and very hospitable people. Tomorrow I hope to write more about them and make a few sketches. Sunday. We were awoken by music. Unbelievable, beautiful, and soft. The sound of instruments reminded me of a recorder with an accordion. We all stepped out from our temporary abode, and, as it turned out, the door of our little house opened onto a small patio, which was tiled with little, flat stones. Quite intricate craftsmanship. A bit farther in the distance, we saw a stone table. Behind it stood a man wearing a long, light-colored garment, something like a smock. No fewer than 500 people were reclining around the table, while the man in the smock read something from a scroll. When he finished reading the sentence, everyone stood, crossed themselves, and began hugging one another with unbelievable happiness on their faces. It was beyond doubt. We were witnesses to the most genuine Christian gathering. We were among Christians. I understood that we would have to do quite a bit of work to solve the riddle of how they arrived to this island. The nearest Christian shores, after all, are at least 2,000 miles away. For starters, I'll need to learn a little of the tribe's language. The interruption in my entries was necessitated by sudden fear. I feel better now and can continue with my writing. These past few days, the tribe's women, kind and obliging, have taken care of me. I found out their name. They call themselves the Humando. I also learned how to say about 24 words. The language sounds vaguely Middle Eastern. Their way of life, according to Brother Paul, is similar to that of Christian communities from the time of the apostles. Our missionary was also astonished by their knowledge of astronomy and mathematics. The people of this tribe weren't at all surprised by our manner of dress, and they were completely indifferent to the particularities of our society. But the most amazing phenomenon for me is the music of the Humanos. Its unbelievable harmony, an unbelievable polyphony. The crystal clear sound of the instruments. It seems to me that any people capable of creating such music must be of very spiritual nature. I've noticed strange changes in myself. All my life, I ran from religion, thinking that it was all one big fiction, a lie and an illusion. But here, among these people, the spirit becomes tangible. It hangs in the air. You can almost touch it with your hands. A striking touch of the spirit of truth. Soon, I hope to be back on my feet so that I can continue my study. It seems as though I'm on the threshold of a great discovery. The discovery of something deep within my own soul. There's the irony of an old traveler for you. Going 1,000 miles from home in order to delve into the depths of his own soul. But that's what my meeting with these remarkable people has been for me. My dear son Andrew, this last entry in my journal is meant for you. This is my last journey. I hope to return home in good health. Today we are leaving the island of the Humando. As you can see, I stopped my entries until this day. Such was my amazement at what I had seen. I hope to tell you everything in person. The one thing I'll write here is that I sought far-off lands and unknown places, but the unknown I found in myself. May God save us.
Med Jesu Jesu